about I Put a Hit on You.
Please.
I saw your swag on, I don't know, it was Twitter or something with the little
Suit.
hats and everything. I thought that was fabulous, but I also thought it would scare people a little bit if they read it and you were out. Did you get
No,
funny looks?
no, not at all. A lot of people asking questions and stuff like that. What it is, because it's a bit of a statement, that's kind of like, well, what's that all about? So definitely there was some questions about it, and it was also pink. So I think that's maybe what didn't scare people, is that it's kind of a nice friendly color, So I think people responded to it pretty well. But yeah, we definitely got some questions about it, and we were giving them out at the Q&A for the screenings and stuff too. If somebody asked a question, we'd give them out. And Dane at one point asked, "Who wants a toque if you answer a question?" And it was just kind of silent because we're in the States, and toques, nobody knows what toques are. So, beanies or whatever hats. So
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about. So give us the little synopsis of what I Put a Hit on You is all about.
so I hope I can keep it fairly brief. So basically, a woman proposes to her boyfriend at a dinner, and he says no, he rejects her. And after that, she kind of, obviously is very upset, goes on a bit of a bender, gets drunk, and sort of just venting, puts on Craigslist, I will give you my engagement ring if you kill my boyfriend. And somebody responds, and then it's up to her to sort of find her boyfriend and let her know, and sort of try and sort this scenario out, see if there's actually a real threat here, and in doing so, work through a lot of the details of their relationship.
I'm going to tell you what I love about it. You have to tell me what you love about it, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So I loved that it was a two-person play, essentially, and we had to be engaged in the story by your acting, and I really felt that. I really enjoyed the movie, so I felt like throughout the whole of it, it didn't matter, things weren't exploding, there wasn't, cool stunts going on. And I also love the fact that you start the relationship, the start of the movie is at the end of the relationship.
Right.
And you have so much to explore after that. So those were a couple of aspects I thought were pretty exciting about it. Tell me what you enjoyed about when you saw did you get the script and you read it and then you
Yes.
thought,
Yeah.
so what were your thoughts that jumped off the page for you?
Well, when I first read, I mean, there was sort of mixed feelings. I loved the script, and I loved the idea that I could potentially, do this thing, but it was also very scary because that pressure to, reading through, I was like, okay, so it's just this one location, and it really is just the two of us, and that's, as much as an actor, you want those challenges, but it's also sort of daunting to know that it's going to really be on your shoulders, and it's really going to be your face and somebody else's, and if it's not working, if it's not clicking, even if the script is great, but we're not making it work, it's not going to work. So I knew that the material was there, and the thing that I really liked about and thought was interesting about the script, and that Dane and Lindsay were also really into embracing, was not playing anything too cool. If there's like an awkward moment or anything like that, like embrace those things. And that's what I like. There's lots of strange little beats that aren't, like in a normal sort of romantic sort of thing, between two people, like sometimes you go for the glossy or the kind of sexy or whatever. And I think that there was a lot of sort of weird, awkward moments throughout that to me felt really real and interesting when I was watching it back. So I really enjoyed that. And it was in the script as well. I thought that those were there, but, I wasn't exactly sure if that's how Dane and Lindsay wanted things to be played. But once, talking to them and actually doing it, yeah, they were like, yeah, just like we don't want it glossy. We want you guys to fumble around. We want you guys to, just be as real as possible. And that was exciting.
The last 10 minutes were a lot of that awkward, experience. Tell me about doing that scene. Was that, I felt really uncomfortable watching it. I can't imagine shooting it. It's essentially, well, no, I don't want to give it away too much, but kind of tell me about that. It's the core of the relationship, and that kind of push and pull between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, the scene, again, I don't want to give too much away either, but I think it's sort of, Yeah, Harper sort of challenging Ray in a way and making him sort of stand up to some of the things that he's done, and sort of kind of dealing with something that's happened in the relationship, and instead of shying away from it, she really leans into it and really, they sort of have it out in this kind of interesting way. But yeah, that scene was particularly awkward and difficult because it's in the script, and that you have to, it's going to be awkward just because of the scenario. If you imagine it in real life, like, again, I don't want to give too much away, but the thing that really made that scene quite awkward is I'll just say that there's some sexual content to it a little bit, and in Canada, the ACTRA, the union will send out a representative to make sure that that everybody's comfortable in some of these scenarios and that. So we had somebody on set that was sort of monitoring that and asking us, "Are you guys okay? Are you?" But in doing so, it makes it even more awkward and uncomfortable. So, so that maybe that helped it though. Maybe that helped it in a way. It added to some of the uncomfortableness. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to shoot.
Yeah, I was cringing.
Good. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I think that's the right reaction, but I was like,
Yeah, well, you just can imagine yourself in that, position. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I think I'm there's a little of Harper in me, which is a little bit scary, but so I think I would kind of maybe lean in as you politely put it. In an assertive way, let's put it.
Yes, assertive.
So, I mean, we get a clear indication why Ray decided not to get engaged to Harper. Because I'm sure you've thought about this as an actor for the role. What did you think drew Ray to Harper in the beginning of their relationship?
Well, I mean, I think that in a lot of ways, and in a lot of relationships, I know like opposites attract. I think that she's definitely got an A-type to her, and he's not a complete screw up, but he's definitely, a little bit more laid back and whatever. And I think that a lot of people sort of gravitate to people that are maybe a little like fulfill like the other side of them. So, Ray is, a professional, he's doing his teacher stuff, but I think that, seeing somebody who will keep him be accountable in that, and I think that that's something that sort of draws opposites together. So I think that's really what it is. They're kind of opposites that sort of together make a great couple, but separately you kind of maybe ask like, well, are they the best match? But I think most of the time that opposites can work really well. So I think it's something like that, really. And she's good looking. She's real good looking.
Smoking hot, you can say it. She was smoking hot. Tell me, let's talk about Sara Canning. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I think she's got a nice career, path ahead of her, and I think she's doing fantastically well. She takes every role and really goes for it, 100%. So tell me about. Lindsay and Dane were saying, the directors were saying that the two of you'd never met before. So tell me about, working off of each other. There seemed to be a good amount of chemistry in the movie.
Yes, yeah, I think we lucked out. I have some friends that know Sara, so I've heard a lot of really nice things about her. And I think that same thing, like she knew, had talked to a few other people before coming to do the movie, and people were like, "Oh, Aaron's a nice guy, I know him," blah blah blah. But I mean, that goes back to that thing of being really scared about, two people, sort of having to be on screen, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that chemistry, you can't really created. It's sort of either there, and again, like the script is great, so it's like the setup is there, but if the two people don't click, so I think we just lucked out. She's quite goofy, and so am I, so I think we just kind of started goofing around and having a lot of fun, and I think that was, we sort of had to do that too, because we're fighting in so much and sort of bickering in so much of the movie. In a way, we're sort of at each other, that I think outside of that we had to kind of be goofy and have fun, because if not, it probably would have gotten a little too serious. But yeah, we had a blast, and we did some rehearsals together, so we had a little with Dane and Lindsay, so we had a little bit of time to talk through the script and get to know each other. But we really just kind of jumped into it, and I think in a lot of ways we were lucky, and obviously Dane and Lindsay picked us, and I think that it worked out well. Like there was something there that that worked for the movie. But we didn't read for it. They offered it to both of us. So it's a little, in those things, it's sort of, it's scary. You're never exactly sure if your two people are going to get along and if it's going to really click together.
Yeah, and
I hope it did.
You said something about the producer, right?
Oh, also Mike McMillan is a producer.
Hi. We totally friended each other on Facebook.
For bringing me up and mentioning how important and key to the success of this film I was. And
when we're doing interviews and he doesn't hear his name mentioned, he just pops in just to remind me.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike, this is recording now, so we got it all, buddy. Don't worry. Nice to meet you.
He's a real self-promoter.
Shameless self-promotion is never a bad thing, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
I have an industry question for you.
Sure.
I was looking over your IMDb, and have you done most of your career in Canada?
Yeah, even the jobs that I've booked through the States, American shows and stuff, most of it's shot in Canada. I've done like maybe 3 or 4 episodes of like CSI New York and like that kind of thing, and I did a reoccurring thing on In Plain Sight and maybe a like indie feature down there. But other than that, yeah, everything else is in Canada. So yeah, I don't know, kind of strange. Like for a while I couldn't get out of Vancouver for 3 or 4 years. It was just like everything that came along, it just happened. I'm like, oh, Vancouver's great. And then, I've been in Toronto for 3 years and doing a lot of stuff out of there and American TV shows and stuff. So yeah, I've been very fortunate I love working in Canada. I think it's a great place to work. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get out of Canada.
Where's Warehouse 13 shot?
In Toronto.
It is, eh? Oh, you really are here. You're very here.
Yes, oh yeah.
I'm actually here. You're actually in Utah. So
yeah, Utah, yeah. But 99% of the time I'm in Toronto.
So tell me, Warehouse 13 has another season. Are you shooting it? Where are you up to on that?
We're done shooting it, and it will air in the spring or the summer, I think. I don't think they've actually put a release date out, but it's going to be at some point, and it's the final season. So the show is done. It just has this bit to air, and then we're all done. So it's kind of bittersweet. All good things come to an end. But I think we could have. Everybody could have gone a little bit longer. We all really love the show. So, yeah. But that's the way it goes.
I think Jane Espenson is like magical. I think she's amazing.
Yeah, you put her name on whatever she's attached to seems to work out really, really well.
Yeah. So now I didn't lie in this interview because I know you have that power. So I thought that was very, very good of me.
I'm so glad I don't have that power, to be honest with you. I think it would be the absolute worst thing to have.
Yeah. But you can kind of tell when people lie anyway, right?
Yeah, there's gives. There's definitely little gives and stuff. But if they're good at it, I wouldn't want to know every single time. I just wouldn't. You'd never trust anybody.
Now the question is do you think acting is lying?
Well, I think everybody.
Because if that was the case, I would hate that superpower. Like I would.
No, I mean, I think. I think if it's really good, it's not lying. You know what I mean? I think if it feels really real and stuff, you're recreating something, but I don't think you're lying. So I think so. No, it's not. It's not.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Are you in the new Veronica Mars movie?
No. I really, when I heard about when they were making it, people started asking me, and I was like, no. I mean, I haven't heard anything, but I told people, I said, if you're interested. Or if you want Troy's character in there, put it out on Twitter to Rob Thomas, the creator, and just put it out there. Who knows? And a bunch of people did. I saw a bunch of people put it out there. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think that there was a lot of big names and big characters on that show. There's so many characters on that show, and my character, I think, I think it would have been difficult to find a reason to put him in it. So I'm saying if there's a sequel. I'm hoping there's a sequel. Maybe we can squeeze them in for a couple scenes in a sequel. So
let's throw that out there.
So that'd be fun.
If you thoroughly enjoyed doing this project, is this somewhere where your career could move forward towards? Because you've done a ton of television exceptionally well. You were Jimmy Olsen, for God's sakes. But I really liked you in a leading man role in a film, and I would like to see more of that. So is that a possibility for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do that. It's doing this movie, and Dana and Lindsay at the very beginning when we were talking about it, we sort of said, we both kind of said, this could be like a different, a way for people to see you sort of differently, other than outside of the TV world and more of a leading man. So yeah, of course, I would love to do that. And doing this project, I love on so many levels. But my fiance, like when I was doing this movie, she's like, I've never seen you like happier at work or like working. And I mean, we were working crazy hours, and it was very hectic, and it was a difficult just because of the the circumstances and stuff, to trying to shoot a feature in a limited amount of time. But I absolutely loved it. And TV's fun, but it's not always grounded in reality. And even this film, the obviously the setup for it is sort of extraordinary, but it was always that it's normal people in an extraordinary scenario. So keeping it grounded and playing that reality and all that comes with that. I mean, there's humor and there is drama and there's emotion and all that stuff. I mean, that's what I would love to do. And again, TV has been very, very good to me. But yeah, I think film like this is what I would love to do. So maybe hopefully I can start doing more things like this, and people will see me in a little bit of a different light, not the go-getter Jimmy Olsen or whatever, a little bit different.
Well, okay, good. I'll make a few phone calls. We'll see what we can do
Please
with
do.
that.
Would you mind?
Yeah, no, I know a ton of filmmakers. Let's get that done.
Yeah.
Well,
Put it out there. See how it goes.
It was awesome to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Best of luck with the movie.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we'll see a release for it, a theatrical. I'm guessing a theatrical will release for it in Canada at least. So
I hope so. Yeah. And I'll see you around Toronto some point, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I'm everywhere. I'm omnipotent.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Has anybody ever done an interview with you, like thinking you're your brother?
Not that I know of.
No,
I mean,
or constantly confused you or anything? No?
There's definitely a lot of people that will randomly stop me on the street here or there. That happens a lot. But no, I think most people have done their homework. I think on print things, not where I've done interviews, but just sort of maybe some things it's been misprinted, like vice versa for both of us. Like my name will be on something, and when Sean did it, in an interview or review or something, and that it happens back and forth like that, but not actually in an interview.
Well,
that would be
that's good,
slightly
though.
embarrassing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't trust journalists that much, so I'm very proud of them. Yay!
Do your research, you guys. Do
Go
your research.
team!